My audio, by the way. Is it all right?
Your audio is very good.
Good, man. So, hello, everyone. We're here for another Evolve Talks, and I have the pleasure and honor to be joined by Hardi. I need to check on your last name again. Potter.
Yeah, Põder. Yeah.
Potter. So, I came across Hardi listening to a podcast, and I found his story fascinating. First of all, because he has a very strong background spanning agriculture, IT, EV, and retail. He also founded 9 companies over decades, and now he's at the forefront of a company called INLIBRIUM, which is the world's first DNA-driven holistic transformation program. We had a chat recently about this live, and why I do this live sessions, and I find Hardy's journey fascinating. Just before going live, uh, we said that this is going to be his. We're going to talk about the truth, his truth. And so, Hardy, welcome to Evolve Talks. Before speaking about INLIBRIUM and how you guys making a difference in the world, explaining what INLIBRIUM is, I always start with the same question, which is the big picture. So how did we get here? I want you to share your beautiful story, your journey,
Mm.
and how you got to INLIBRIUM, so we can talk about how you're making a difference in other people's lives.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, first of all, for inviting me here to your show. Yeah, it's my pleasure to share my story, like always. And to take this long story in short, I've been entrepreneur all my grown-up life, established the first company when I was 19 years old, studied economics at the university, felt that it's too dry, and thought that those people who were teaching there didn't know what they were talking. So I decided, okay, I will try it out how it is to be entrepreneur by myself, and established my first company being 19 years old, one construction company, and we started to build houses around Estonia. So originally I'm from Estonia, and at the moment also I'm in Estonia.
Right.
So, but I didn't know, Carlos, a thing about how to do business and how to like keep the group of employees together. I had more than 40 employees in my first company. So this company, I finished or ended this company after 2.5 years because of the economical crisis in 2018, and there was
Mhm.
not so much work to do anymore. And then I decided, okay, I have a lot of connections, and I have a lot of ideas, and decided to create another company. Then I
Mhm.
started to grow medicinal mushrooms and went to Belgium to study microbiology and how to grow medicinal mushrooms. So I established a company that was growing mushrooms, and I had my own laboratory, and I was doing my research and development in my laboratory. So a lot of microbiology and stuff. But this venture also lasted about 2.5 years, and then another one 2.5 years, and another one 2.5 years, and another one 2.5 years. The same pattern, Carlos, all the time continued. Around two up to 2.5 years, I'm starting a new business. Everything is going as it should go, and then I'm running away to another business. I'm stopping the old one,
Mhm.
and now years after doing it, I understand, or I understood what was behind all of this dysfunctional pattern that I was going all the time. And I can share it honestly that it was fear to take responsibility. Because to start a business, to start a company, like at the beginning, you are doing the basic things when you are in SME world, like small and medium enterprises world. Like you need to have a web page, you need to hire a good employees, like marketing and some product or service development. But in my case, in 2 years, you will find yourself in the position where you have to make some important decisions. So you need to take the responsibility. But Carlos, I was afraid to take responsibility. And the solution for me in this case was to close the old company and establish a new company and start over again, up to the 2 years, then run away again. The same pattern all the time continued. So in 2016, I ended up with a huge burnout on a physical and emotional and mental level. So everything in my life was collapsing. My close relationships, my businesses, my physical body was collapsing. And I started to look help for myself. One thing led to another, and I met a lot of wonderful people who all were helping me in their own way. Like some of them were professionals, some of them were just people who wanted to help without any like specific background. So I went through different therapy methods. Different people were helping me. A lot of focus were on my physical well-being because it regulates your neurochemistry, what regulates how you can handle your stress levels, and all these kind of related things. And I also was introduced to psychedelic assisted therapy. Firstly, in the shamanic setting, what you, Carlos, know, what you can experience in Brazil, where you are at the moment, in a lot of places. Uh, for the last thousands of years already, the people are using their ayahuasca and mushrooms in ceremonies. But and also I met some fake therapists who didn't have any kind of like professional background, or they just wanted to help people but didn't have exact understanding how to work with this kind of intelligent and very powerful substances and with subconscious mind. So and for last, I met like real professionals with medical background and who knew what they were doing. And this journey took about 4 up to 5 years. I can't say, Carlos, that this journey is over now, that I'm now cured and I don't have any problems anymore, and my life is only joy, joy, happy, happy. No, no, it's not. I still have my obstacles. I still have my struggles to overcome every day. But to take this long journey together, the feeling that I was carrying in my mind all the time, or the question that was like coming up all the time in me, was that I'm missing something, and what is this thing that I'm missing all the time? That was one reason why I ran away from those businesses. My like explanation for my activity was that, Hardi, this business is not for you. It's not the right business. The feeling is not right. You need to change something, like establish a new company. So, but now I can say, Carlos, that this feeling that I'm missing something that I had for decades all the time, even if I had everything that I dreamed about in my life, in material ways, now I can explain this feeling like this: that only thing that I was really missing in my life was my true self and my purpose in this life. And it was hidden behind a facade, uh, mixed with past traumas, dysfunctional patterns, limiting beliefs, shame, guilt, all these kind of things. These were those things that was keeping me back from living my full potential and being who I really am. Like, we all have different backgrounds. Only you have been walking in those shoes, Carlos, and nobody else knows your background like in this way, how you know it and how you feel it. It goes with me. So it was pretty hard. I came out from it, and I was again in this kind of position to decide, okay, what should I do now in my life? And I talked to my spouse, Monika, who is also co-founder of INLIBRIUM, about my feelings and about my ideas. And I said to Monica that only thing, I have been in sales business almost all my life. And the only thing what I can do, or what I can sell in this life, what I feel that it's ethical to do, is these kind of things that I truly personally believe in. And I can only believe in things that I have personally experienced. So I experienced my transformation, and idea that was growing out from this experience was that if this method or methods that were used on me, helping me to come out of this burnout and finding my life purpose, and yeah, it sounds like a cliche, but it's true, and my true self, who I really am. If this is so powerful, then why not put together a team and create the concept of holistic transformation program and introduce it to the wider audience, to the world, and help leaders, visionaries, founders, executives, these kind of people who have influence for others, like
Mhm.
might have positive influence for others in this society, help them, work with them, help them to overcome their obstacles that are keeping them back from living their full potential in their life. And we created or established a company called INLIBRIUM. So this
The,
is my
the,
story.
no, that's perfect. Before talking about Inlibrium, I would like to ask you about. So you realize that, and I think it's really interesting that you said, okay, there's a pattern here that I always fall
Yeah.
back on, and like every second year you would decide to close the company and start something
Yeah.
new, and you're saying that you were trying to eventually run away from an issue, a problem, or not being responsible. I think was the word that you
Yeah.
said, right? You're
I was afraid
not
to take responsibility.
right. And what were the, let's say, habits that you would fall back on? Was it alcohol, weed? Because people have different things. If you like to
Yeah,
share, of course,
of course.
and I
Like,
think I would also like to explore how did you what was the process of identifying and being honest, because that's the word you started this conversation when we were not live, being fucking honest about things. How was this process for you to say, okay, um, I'm afraid of taking responsibility for my life, and now I'm always falling back on these bad habits, and now it's time to change. So how you identify this, and the things you would fall back on, and then we talk about the Librium, because I think this is very, very interesting.
yeah, first thing, the easiest thing is for me, it was, I will talk only about me, was always to numb myself. So I was
Mhm,
smoking like hell, I was drinking like hell. Luckily, I
mhm,
had money to do it, so I didn't go to 9 to 5 work every day.
mhm,
So I was able to do it. But in one case, like when my physical body started to collapse and I couldn't walk
mhm,
or even run anymore,
mhm,
I liked the running a lot. So then I started to think, okay, uh, then I broke up with my ex, and we have 2 kids together. So it was pretty hard for me on that time.
mhm,
And when everything, Carlos, is collapsing in your life, then in one moment you are in this corner, like where you need or you have to do the change.
mhm,
Then you become honest, and then you admit that you're fucked up, you need help.
mhm,
And I was in this corner, and I started to ask help from different people. Like I told
mhm,
before, one thing led to another, and so on. But it was hard because I had built this kind of facade that Hardi is successful. I'm driving with S-Class Mercedes, smoking cigars, not cigarettes, and only dressing myself like in suits, walking in suits, and all this beautiful life. Carlos, it was all bullshit. Inside, I
mhm,
was screaming. Inside, I was crying all the time. So
mhm,
mentally, physically fucked up guy.
mhm,
That's the true, this is the truth of my life. Outside, everything was beautiful. I was, on that time when I had this burnout, I was active in one network marketing company as well. I was all the time on the stage, leading different events, like up to 1,500 people in a conference hall, being a host of the day, like all the time being on the stage and joking on the stage and making people laugh. But it was my defense that I
mhm,
was creating all the time different jokes that people couldn't ask me any like serious questions like, "Hey Hardy, how are you really doing? How is your family doing?" like what is going on your personal level. So I was hiding
Mhm.
behind the jokes, like making people laugh all the time. But it all
Mhm.
comes back to my childhood and then different traumas that came from there. And this was my coping mechanism, how to handle it.
Super interesting. And so let's talk about then you've identified that everything, and I think for the majority of us, all of our current issues, they are typically related to our childhood, right?
Yeah,
Then you founded in Librium,
yeah.
and at INLIBRIUM, you shared a bunch of very interesting things with me last time we spoke. That alignment call that we had. And what is INLIBRIUM, and how did you come about? Making, because at some point you were growing mushrooms. You said
Mhm,
also, right? And you started connecting the dots, sort of like saying, okay, I had this business of mushrooms, and there is a trend that we see that
mhm,
I think in the world people are looking for. It's somehow that we are all trying to elevate. I think the world in a way is getting more consciously uh, collected, so to speak. People are
mhm.
looking more for treatment, and so I'm curious about what is in Librium, and how did you went from growing mushrooms to making to creating a business out of it. And you have a partner who's your wife, I guess now, Monica, right? So tell me about that.
Hmm. Oh, that's a long, long story. Again, one thing led to another, but I can take it shortly together like this: that it all has been like my own self-development journey, and going through this journey, I have been growing all the time and getting more aware. What do I really want to do, and what is my strength or what is my uniqueness in this world?
Mhm.
And what I understood in one moment, first of all, my first businesses were related only to earn money, to get this
Mhm.
wealth out of it. No, like a higher mission or something hidden behind it. But when you are keeping on doing this and you all the time end up in the same position that you are not satisfied with it, and like it doesn't give you this, let's call it energy, you are not getting back energy. Yeah, you are getting money, but not the feeling is not right. Then in one moment, Carlos, you understand that okay, maybe you should ask from yourself, like, Hardy, what do you really want to do? And I was asking it from myself, and what is my uniqueness in this world, what I can share with others. And I understood that, at least this is my opinion, I don't know if everyone else are agreeing with it, but how I see what is my uniqueness is that I can explain pretty complicated things in a very understandable way, like in a through very easy talk. I don't even know how to
Mhm.
express it in English, is it right or not?
No, it's perfect. You explain complex terms in simple ways. Let's put it like
Yeah.
that, right? Uh-huh.
And that's from that was the beginning of INLIBRIUM, and I got this knowledge through going through my own journey, and then I
Mhm.
understood that okay, this is one way how I can share this, because what is my position or work at INLIBRIUM? Yeah, I'm CEO, I'm founder together with Monica, but my part, I'm not a coach or mentor or trainer or psychiatrist, or I'm not working with
Mhm.
customers who we have in Librium. But what I do is I'm having calls all the time with different entrepreneurs and founders and leaders, and I'm just sharing my story, and I'm explaining in a very like basic way, like how it all happened with me, how I came up with the idea of this holistic transformation program, and how
Mhm.
you, as a like average person, normal person, can benefit out of it. And all the calls that I'm having, not all, but majority of the calls that I'm having, I'm asking from a person that how they are doing, and then sharing my story that I had different traumas that was affecting my life and my decision making abilities. And at the beginning, people are saying that they don't have any kind of traumas. No, their life is very good and very beautiful, and just
Mhm.
out of curiosity, wanted to have a call with me. But then,
Mhm.
when they're seeing my vulnerability, how I'm talking
Mhm.
honestly about myself and how fucked up I was, and maybe how fucked up I'm still, because I can't say that I'm now cured, or like those spiritual people are saying that you are now enlightened. Never. I think it's
Mhm.
a never-ending journey. I still facing every day different obstacles in my life. I still have
Mhm.
those traumas from my childhood, but the difference is that now at least I'm aware of them, and I
Mhm.
can feel, I can understand when they are kicking in and affecting my life, especially in the business world, when they are affecting my business like decision making abilities, like this
Mhm.
fear and shame and guilt and um, yeah, mainly fear of taking responsibility. And that's the
Mhm.
trauma. I know that I have this trauma, but now I'm studying or learning how to live with this trauma together with it, because the trauma will not, it will not disappear. You can forget it, but it's still in your subconscious mind. So,
Yeah. It's like a tattoo, right? It's
oh
there.
yeah, yeah, but you can remove that too. But something in your cells, there is still some kind of things that you can see that there was a tattoo or something like this.
Mhm. Mhm. Hardy, that's so interesting. And I mean, the when we spoke last time, you mentioned like about INLIBRIUM, and I want to talk about that because one of the first things you said is like, we have a program where uh, what got my attention about your program is that it goes from it could range from 6 months to 12 months, right?
Yeah.
And it all starts with a DNA test. You told me
Mhm.
said, and then I remember you saying, my daughters they were playing in the
Yeah,
background.
yeah.
Yeah, you were saying that it's so impressive what we can discover, so interesting what you can discover just by looking at your DNA
Mhm.
test, and then you find you understand yourself pretty much like you have a picture. Tell me about that. Tell me about the process.
Yeah.
Um, at INLIBRIUM, how does it work? Like I want to start a program with you. How do we start? What's the
So first of all, the program includes, let's say, three main pillars with what
Mhm.
we are working. And the first pillar is your physical well-being, and to understand like where you are at the moment, Carlos. Like, what is your physical condition? Then
Mhm.
we are using different DNA tests to test you and to get the understanding about your DNA uniqueness and how it
Mhm.
affects your life. And it's amazing what you can read out from DNA. I can share my own experiences. Like for me, what came out was that my body, in a genetical way, it can't produce in a normal way serotonin, like this
Okay.
happy hormone.
Uh-huh.
To produce it, the recommendations what came from those DNA testings, like the first recommendation was that I need to have like a physical activity. I need to get my pulse up at
Mhm.
least for 10 minutes at the beginning of the day, and then your
Mhm.
body physical and neurochemical way starts to produce serotonin. So
Okay.
it like it gave me this kind of hack that I'm using now every day. And to be
Mhm.
honest, then every morning, 7 days a week, I'm going to train myself at least
Mhm.
for 10 minutes. I'm getting my pulse up, because then I'm
Mhm.
feeling good. Like, you get this good feeling, and this is
Mhm.
unique for me because my genetically my body can't produce as normal people can serotonin, like this happy hormone, being happy
Mhm.
or being aware of hormone. And also a lot of different things are coming out from those DNA testings. And what we are doing after that, we are putting together individual or tailor-made program, physical well-being program, only meant for you, what kind of nutrition you need to take, what kind of exercise, what kind of habits you need to change. um, there is so much information to read. So I think it was almost 90 pages of overview about your genetics and how they are working or not working, and recommendations what you should change in your life, in your
Mhm.
lifestyle. And it all affects like your neurochemistry. That also affects how you can handle with stress, how sharp you are. Like the main thing what the leaders, or let's say executives, are sharing with us is that they are sharp in the morning, they can do those
Mhm.
things, and around 12 p.m. or like after the lunch they are crashing, because
Mhm.
they can't focus anymore, like they can't go to the meetings, or they are not as effective as they were in the morning. But there is a certain reason behind it all.
Mhm.
And it can be hidden inside of your DNA. Like we all have different DNA, and nowadays luckily you can test it, you can get this understanding and
Mhm.
change your lifestyle. So this is the first pillar, like working with you on a physical way, and getting your physical well-being up, because you need resources, like energetical resources, to work with your subconscious mind and with deeper things. Then what follows for the physical pillar comes a mental pillar. And then we are involving executive coaching and life coaching into it. And then coaches who all have like different certifications and they know what they're doing are starting to work with you with your limiting beliefs and functional patterns that you have
Mhm.
in your personal life, in your business life. What are keeping you back from living your full potential in your life?
Mhm.
So this is the second pillar. And the third pillar is emotional pillar, and this is the deepest one. There, we are involving psychotherapy and psychedelic assisted therapy, if there is.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I know that this psychedelics and psychedelic assisted therapy, it's a pretty famous word at the moment. A lot of people are talking about it, and they have interest about it. And the society, it seems like society is starting to opening itself up to this kind of new concept or forgotten concept from the past times.
Mhm.
But let's take it together like this. At the moment, our main psychotherapist with whom we are working, no names mentioned, said like this guy has more than 20 years of professional psychiatrist background, um,
Mhm.
head of a psychiatry clinic, working with thousands of people in his career. And he said like this, that with one psychedelic assisted therapy session, with proper preparation and proper integration after that session, he's able to do the same results compared with 10 years bi-weekly talk therapy. With
Mhm.
one session, and duration of one session is around 6 to 8 hours, because it helps you.
6 to 8 hours. 6 to 8
Yes,
hours.
with a six
Okay.
to eight hours, it equals
Mhm.
for, and this is his words, it might equal for 10 years work. And that's
Mhm.
crazy. And I
Yeah,
experienced
indeed.
what came up from from my childhood, that was still there. I didn't even remember those things, but I
Mhm.
understood that these things were affecting my personal life and my business life. So
Mhm.
to have a conclusion, what changed in me before those therapies, before those preparation and integration sessions, I had this feeling that, metaphorical way, saying that I was carrying an invisible backpack full of rocks, like heavy
Mhm.
rocks, and I didn't know that I was carrying it, but the feeling was hard, like I'm carrying something all the time. And then someone came and told me that, hey Hardy, maybe you should take it off. May I show you how you can take it off? but you will do it by
Mhm.
yourself. So it's pretty hard to express like how the change looks like. But Carlos, the feeling is that maybe first time I'm alive, I'm free.
Mhm.
I can't say that I don't. Uh, I'm not afraid of anything anymore in my life. Of course, I'm afraid,
Mhm.
but I'm aware of those dysfunctional patterns and traumas that are affecting my life,
Mhm.
and I know, I feel, I recognize when they're kicking in, when they're affecting my life and
Mhm.
decision-making abilities. And this is the real thing to have, like this kind of awareness, and how it can affect in a positive way your business and your personal life. Like this relationship that I'm having with Monica at the moment, we have been together more than 3 years now as a couple.
Mhm.
That's crazy, like how honest those conversations with your spouse can be, how deep
Mhm.
you go into those conversations, and how your spouse, your partner, can support you on your journey, and you can do the same for her, for or for him. It's
Mhm.
crazy. And then
Um, yeah, go ahead, go ahead,
what
and I'll
another
ask you a question.
question then? Yeah.
No, I think this is fascinating, and being extremely open also, because I think that's the purpose why we're having this conversation. I
Mhm.
said, so I told you like I had a burnout. I divorced in 2019. A lot happened in my life. One of the things that I mean, I smoked weed a few times in my life, but I realized, and I told you like I, if I do this in a private setting with friends without the use of alcohol, then it can be fun.
Mhm.
But I need to do it with friends because otherwise, as there's quite a bit of schizophrenia and on the side of my dad, there's quite a bit there. I've experienced things that I decided not to use weed anymore because I get afraid, and I've experienced weird stuff like hearing voices, and I said that this is not for me, and probably that's in my DNA as well, right? There's something
Yeah, it
there
might be.
that I don't know, and yeah, and I should take a test because it's super interesting. Now, when you use, I mean, in the case of MDMA and mushrooms and whatnot, and you're having this experience, let's call it, this introspective experience. So you take the dose, the microdose, I don't know how we call, and then you go into a room. I watched a documentary, very interesting. The power of, it's on Netflix. I don't, Power of plants or mushrooms or new
Okay.
drugs. It was about that. Um, and then people would be in a room, typically assisted by a therapist, right? And they would go into an experience where they could see things, they could remember the past, and right, and they would cry and things like that, and hence the importance of having someone by your side because you have to talk about what's coming out, right? But I'm curious about the process, like what's like when you're uh, um, using mushrooms or however we call it, one of these drugs, legal drugs, of course.
Okay, there are like different options. Maybe we should start from the beginning, like you described, having weed with your friends, or maybe doing MDMA or mushrooms together with your friends.
Yeah.
You need to know this place where are you consuming this substance, and together with whom. Then you feel safe, but you can still have some level of paranoia, like something can happen. Da da da.
Mhm.
The worst case is that people are using psychedelics before going to the nightclub.
Mhm.
I've seen this also, like going to the rave under a huge dose of LSD, and then
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you can really flip like their mind,
Mhm.
and that's the worst thing what you can do to yourself, because these substances are so powerful and awareness
Mhm.
openers. Then it's not some kind of entertainment substance, but it is like served mainly like entertainment substance, starting with MDMA, like uh, party drug, or how it is called on the streets, or love drug. And it's one way to use it. Another way, those fake shamanic or therapeutic settings, like group sessions by someone who is very into psychedelics, and I'm calling it the spiritual narcissism group settings, because
Hmm.
there is one leader, mainly they don't have any kind of education or professional background to do this what they are doing. And for me now, I can say that it's pure entertainment what they're providing. Uh,
Hmm.
I was attending in these kind of group sessions more than 100 times. Mainly the groups were like starting with 5 people up to 10 people, and then 40 people, 50 people, whatever substance they were consuming there. Was it ayahuasca or mushrooms or MDMA or LSD? Huge group was together. Some of them were crying, some of them were laughing, some of them were like frozen, and
Hmm.
the emotions and everything, Carlos, were mixed. In the end, people didn't know or didn't understand like whose feelings they were going through. Was there their feelings, or their person who was sitting next to them feelings? Because everything
Hmm.
was mixed. And what was the most funniest thing that I heard there was like those guides or leaders who were holding the room or the space, how they're saying, said that the only thing what you need to do is stay in the love frequency, and everything will be okay with you. Beautiful.
Uh-huh.
But if you get freaked out because person next to you is vomiting and screaming like hell, like someone is stabbing him or her, then you can
Mhm.
freak out. Then you can't be in the love frequency, even if the Buddha, who is leading this group ceremony, is saying you to be
Of course.
today. Like I was going to those retreats. I was experiencing it. I thought that this is the real thing and this is how the real healing comes up. Now, today,
Mhm.
years later, I say that this was a pure spiritual narcissism and entertainment.
Mhm.
The third option, what you have, is professional. Like
Mhm.
you can you can find a professional psychotherapist who is making you a proper preparation, and also after the session integration sessions, then and know who knows like the dosages of the substance to use, or
Mhm. Mhm.
maybe you should not even use anything, like maybe it's not for you. I don't say that psychedelics are for everyone. I can't say it.
Mhm.
They are
Mhm.
not for everyone. And what I'm saying to everyone is that if you want to find out or try psychedelics, then please try to find someone who is professional, and who can prepare you for this session, and who can guide you through this session, and who
Mhm.
can give you also integration sessions. So this is, at the least, this is my truth. This is the only way how to use those substances in the right way, in an effective way.
Amazing. And when you get your DNA test, does it also show if you're, let's say, how your system could react to
No,
certain substances? Or no?
no, this is what you can't read out from it, at least at the
Uh,
moment. But how you can get like a professional understanding is that our customers are having professional psychotherapy, 2 to 3
mhm.
sessions before starting our program. So the psychiatrist or psychotherapist gets a clear understanding: is this person mentally ready to do this? What
Mhm.
she wants to do to go through their transformation and through this program. So it's not some kind of game to play. It's a
Yeah.
serious thing, but also the outcome is also pretty serious. And what is the most important, it is sustainable. And
Mhm.
another important thing is people are hooked with this psychedelic part, and those psychedelic sessions, like you said, that you can see those visions and then get these
Mhm.
understandings, or even experience your past lives if they exist there. I don't know that. But the real change happens in real life, in normal states of consciousness. And the
Mhm.
most
Mhm.
important part in every change is integration of those insights that you got.
Exactly. Exactly.
How
That's I think
take
yeah.
things into your everyday life, and how can you start to practice it and to change habits? Carlos, it is hard and it takes time. If someone is providing you, come to this 1 week or weekend retreat with super high business coaches and shamans and whatever doctors, and you will be transformed to total another person, your true self,
Mhm.
then I'm saying that this is bullshit. It can't
Yeah,
happen
I
so.
agree. I agree. I totally agree. I mean, I think integration is the hardest part, right? When you come back to reality and you have to deal with your day-to-day job and your demons, and you're going to be
Mhm.
alone, right? So and hence why it's so important. Like I mean, I do therapy to this day, and I really enjoy like personal development things. So that's why I also wanted to invite you for this conversation, because I'm sure like in my group, lots of executives there, they won't necessarily, they're not as open as we are to talk about our
Mhm.
things, but I'm sure they would be interested as well. And Hardy, talking about transformations, tell me about some of the, let's say, cases that you have, right? And that you're seeing already in your clients, if I may call them clients, right? I think
Yeah, let's
it would
call
be
them
cool.
clients.
Yeah.
Uh, Last story. We were working with one guy, no names mentioned, um,
Mhm.
56 years old, being entrepreneur for the last 25 plus years, and his dysfunctional pattern is and was working 12 hours per day, 7 days
Mhm.
per week for 25 years in a row.
Okay.
Can't get off. Don't know, like financial and material, and no need to do it anymore. 1,000
Mhm.
plus employees in his company.
Mhm.
What he realized through um those different methods that we are using in his transformation, starting with physical well-being and ending up with psychedelic assisted therapy and professional psychotherapy, was the reason, or yeah, yeah, the reason, or yeah, let's call it reason, why he started to do it like this 26 years ago when he established his company. It was his escaping mechanism from his pain or his trauma. He decided
Mhm.
to start working like crazy. Then he don't need to think about this thing that was hammering in his subconscious mind. And when person gets, after 26 years have passed, and you get the awareness, like why I can't get out from this rat race, why I'm working like crazy, then for this person, this is life changing understanding, insight, when you get this awareness. I can't say that the change came immediately or now this person is cured, but at least now he knows with what he needs to focus on to have the change in his life, that maybe he can take someday vacation or not
Mhm.
work or work like crazy from
Mhm.
morning till the evening.
Yeah.
So different, like if people are getting these kind of understandings and everyone having their own issues to cope with, then like this emotional shift what they are going through, to be witness of this, like, and when they are sharing their stories and what they feel, Carlos, it's amazing. Like I'm pretty lucky one with this what I'm doing, because I have a chance to see it personally. Like when people are going through their transformations, I see how hard it is. It's never easy, um, and a lot of people don't want to change. These are
Mhm.
brilliant words. What our main psychiatrist said to us, that hey guys, majority of people in reality don't want to change, because change is not easy and it takes time. You need to come out from your comfort zone.
Mhm. Mhm.
So INLIBRIUM's program is not for everyone, because everyone are not ready for it. It takes time, dedication, and you need you really need to want this kind of change, what you're looking for.
Totally agree. Do you guys have a community also to put like a community of support for let's say your clients, like the executives who are part of the program? Because yeah, I understood you're like orchestrating a lot of things, right? And people are in different parts of their journey. So one person is just starting; they're just getting their DNA test. The other person is going through therapy, and like so people can actually talk to each other. Do you have a community there? So
Yeah, in one moment we have it. So
Mhm.
approach what we are having is like this: that firstly, people are doing their own individual work, going through their own
Mhm.
personal program, dealing with their own shadow side, with their own traumas, dysfunctional patterns, limiting beliefs, and so on. Will it take 6 months or 7 months, or for one guy from Finland, it took 14 months in a row to work with himself? It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
But this is mandatory to go through your own personal process, because then the second phase in INLIBRIUM is that we are putting together a groups, like a group session or a group of like-minded entrepreneurs or founders or leaders or visionaries, how we're calling it or whatever, 6 up to 8 people, and
Mhm.
then they're having a group session. But the importance that they have been doing their own personal work before coming
Right.
to a group session comes out
Mhm.
from this, that then they are not taking their own shit or dirty laundry to this group.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because the idea behind those group sessions is that if these kind of let's call it like-minded and bright heads are putting together their heads, then those ideas that are born out of this collective synergy or energy, then
Mhm.
it's amazing. And then they are like networking and doing things together and establishing and creating world changing businesses, let's call it like this, because they're
Mhm.
all like business minded people. But the difference is business is not bad. The question is, how
Mhm.
are you doing the business? Are
Mhm.
you doing
Mhm.
it to only gain something extra for you, or you are doing it that everyone in society will gain something out of your like service or product or whatever you are doing?
Amazing. That's great. Um, how do you? I'm curious about your process to, because I think you need to be an evangelist, right? About uh, your journey, so people connect with that. So your storytelling from your narrative from a marketing perspective, and don't take the word marketing as like salesy in a bad way, but from a marketing perspective, is the, in my opinion, your storytelling and the business cases that you have, like always, like the cases from the transformation cases that you have, are the most powerful assets, right? For you
Yeah.
to help other entrepreneurs and visionaries and whatnot in their journey. So tell me about your acquisition of your funnel. How does it work? I'm curious about that. Is it word of
First,
mouth? Is it?
it's word of mouth, and it all started with LinkedIn. And
Mm-hmm.
uh, strategy behind the LinkedIn is that uh, I am and we are truly honest. No
Oh,
fucking
that's
bullshit
that's
here.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm saying openly and publicly that I was so fucked up. Uh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that I'm not cured at the moment even, but I can
Mm-hmm.
handle with my life and I can go forward with my journey and I can share my experiences. And this is the only thing what I can do. I can't say what is wrong in your life, Carlos, or what you should change in your life to accomplish whatever you want to accomplish in your life. Nobody can say it to you. Even the most professional psychotherapist can't say it to you. You need to say it to yourself, because only you know those answers for your questions.
Mm-hmm.
So what we have seen as we are working with more intelligent people and people who have seen the world and have a lot of experiences in a business wise and personal life, then they see immediately through it when someone is trying to sell them something or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
not truly honest. then they see it through and they're not interested in it.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
not
I
doing
agree.
any kind of specific marketing. I'm just writing my own posts, and we have established a couple of articles about psychedelic assisted therapy and transformation and leadership and these kind of things. And people are connecting with us by themselves when they are touched by our posts or by our stories that we shared. And this is how the conversation starts.
It's amazing, Hardy. I love it. Congrats, man. Hardy, we're gonna wrap up. I think we're a
Mhm.
bit above time now. We stretched a bit, and thanks for that. If people want to know more, and I'll put a link as well to INLIBRIUM, how can they find you? And yeah, the company as well. But they can find out more
Yeah.
information about it.
They can find the company web page from www.inlibrium.com. You can add the link there. We are going through a little facelift that will be ready this week for the web page. Then you get better understanding. At the moment, it is too it's hard to understand what we are doing, so we are doing some
I thought it
changes.
was pretty nice, to be
Oh,
honest. I understood it. I mean, it's quite what I understood. It's quite a serious and long program, and I think
yeah,
I was quite um, straight about saying, hey, I love that your program is long because you're not promising miracles, you know. So uh,
no,
that's
we're
what.
not
Yeah,
promising, and we
exactly.
don't start to promise anything. We
Hmm.
can't promise because
Hmm.
everyone with whom we're working, it is tailor-made process. You never know what
Hmm.
comes out from it, but at least this far we can say that those transformation what people or our customers have had, these are amazing and their lives are changed totally.
Hmm.
And you can find me and Monica from LinkedIn. So we're using from social media only LinkedIn. uh, Search for INLIBRIUM or for Hardi Põder, and you will find us. And you can contact us. Always, I'm ready to share my own experience. Like I said, I'm not the coach. I'm not some expert or mentor. I'm just the connector. I'm sharing my story and connecting you with real professionals who really knows how to work with you and help you.
You're the maestro because you're orchestrating, right? Uh,
That's
the
great.
enlightenment maestro. Let's put it this way.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you.
Hey man, thanks very much. It's been amazing. Great having you. So thanks for this, Hadi.
Thank you, Carlos. It
All
was
right.
nice to talk to you. Hopefully,
Likewise.
someone was learning out of it something or gained something at least for themselves.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Take care.
So